Hey guys, welcome to my newest video for today. For today's video I'm going to be doing a Tracy Talks TV. This is the 4th installment I've done of this series, and I have quite a few TV shows to talk about, so I'm just going to get straight into it. And I'm going to start off with the TV shows that I watched out of my own collection, so I'll cover those ones and then I'll talk about the TV shows that I watched either as they aired or whether I watched them, say, via Netflix or whatnot. So I'm just going to get straight into it, and the first show that I have to talk about is NCIS New Orleans Season 1. I have previously seen this season. Actually, all the shows that I have to talk about out of my own collection are ones that I've already seen and are rewatches, but I've rewatched NCIS New Orleans Season 1. New Orleans isn't my favourite of the NCIS franchise, but I do enjoy it, even though not as much as like the original show or NCIS LA, but it's fun to sort of go back and revisit the first season. So so that was NCIS New Orleans Season 1, and then I continued on with making my way through Numbers and finished Season 2. This was the last full season that I had initially watched, so now when I start Season 3 I will be eventually getting to episodes I haven't seen, so because I only got up to like episode, I think it was like episode 20 of Season 3, but so always really enjoyed going back and revisiting like this show, because I forgot how much I did enjoy it, and I just love the relationship between like with the brothers and their father, and it just makes maths really interesting for me, because even though, because I mentioned like maths is my worst subject, but watching this show it just makes me wish I was actually good at it. So it's a really great show, and I'm looking forward to finally getting into episodes that I haven't seen before. So so that's Numbers Season 2. And then another show that I've started a rewatch of, because I've fallen massively behind on this show, except I'm now sort of facing a dilemma, because while the show did get picked up for Season 6, like it got renewed, it's not airing until summer 2019, so for me it's like winter 2019. So I'm not sure exactly how I want to pace it out, because it's not airing for like another year, but the show in question is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I rewatched Season 1 and Season 2, and I had so much fun going back and revisiting this show, because I loved it from the beginning. And I mean, yes, it's definitely like the general consensus is it picked up so much after Winter Soldier, but I love the show like right from the pilot, so going back and sort of seeing how young everyone was, and like later plot like the whole like plot revelations and that as after Winter Soldier. And so I really did enjoy going back and revisiting Seasons 1 and 2, so because I got up to halfway between through Season 4, and then I just fell completely behind, because that was sort of the middle of my massive TV watching slump. So I thought I want to get back into the show, and I decided to start like from the beginning. But obviously now, since Season 6 isn't airing until next year, I sort of have to figure out how I'm going to pace the show, because I'm like, I want to sort of get right back into it and get caught up, but then I'm like, I don't want to wait another year before I can see the new season. But the goal is to eventually get caught up in time for Season 6, so which I'm pretty sure will happen. But so that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1 and Season 2. And then the last of the shows that I've been watching from out of my own collection, and that is Horrible Histories. I've started a rewatch, because I've since picked up Series 7, and I've never seen Series 7, so I want to rewatch 1 to 6 and then watch Series 7. But I love this show so much. It's very addictive, because I've sort of forgotten just how much fun I had watching it. And even though I've seen like these, at least the early seasons, I've seen quite a few times, but it's just got so much I just love all the different segments that they do, like to sort of tell the history, like you know, you'll have segments like Historical MasterChef, and then you'll have like Come Dine With Me. I really enjoyed Come Dine With Me. There's a couple of good ones in that one. You know, and you've got Historical Wife Swap, and just, yeah, other different things. Like they'll do, one of my favourites actually since when I've rewatched it is the Guy Fawkes segments that they've done, especially when they sort of did it as a movie trailer. I just love that. It's yeah, some of my favourite like moments of the show, but yeah, this is just great. I love the songs, and yeah, I'm just having so much fun revisiting it. And yeah, so I watched the first 3 series, so I'm now up to series 4, and yeah, it's a great show. I definitely recommend looking up some clips on YouTube if you haven't seen it before. But yeah, so that is Horrible Histories series 1 to 3. And those were the shows that I watched out of my own collection. And now sort of briefly with the other shows I've been watching these past couple of months. I finished watching Counterpart season 1. Apparently I needed something to fill in the hole that Fringe left. When I finished watching Fringe, I needed something to fill that gap in, and Counterpart just fit it so well. I got so many Fringe vibes from it. Like, because obviously it's, if you're not familiar with the show, it deals with, well, as it suggests, counterparts. Like because it's set in Berlin, and basically it sort of deals with them interacting with their other counterparts, and there's like, yeah, a whole lot of like political intrigue going on. And because like our main character, who's played by J.K. Simmons, he's sort of getting embroiled because he's like in the I guess the prime one, I think is sort of what you call, like, I guess, which is like the modern, like our actual Earth. And then he's sort of like his life's very boring, and he goes by unnoticed, but then his counterpart is like sort of wrapped up in all this espionage things. And yeah, it's very interesting, and yeah, I loved watching it, so I'm definitely glad that it got renewed for season 2, so definitely excited to see where it goes from there. I think the only thing, if I had like a minor complaint about it, is sometimes it's very hard to figure out which, because it's set in Berlin, and I'm not familiar with the Berlin skylines, because like with Fringe, and it was set in New York, and you sort of had the 2 different skylines with that, and you could tell like which ones was which, because the colour scheme changed and all of that. But with this one, it's sort of very hard to figure out which one you're actually in. But I still really enjoyed the show, and yeah, looking forward to seeing where season 2 goes. Then I finished watching Jessica Jones season 2. I was really looking forward to season 2 because season 1 was fantastic. I loved yeah, the first season of Jessica Jones, and just out of the Marvel Netflix shows I've seen, Jessica Jones is definitely my favourite. But I was a little disappointed in season 2, if I'm being a bit honest, and I think that was from a real lack of villain, because David Tennant as Kilgrave in season 1, he was brilliant, and he really yeah, you definitely missed his presence in season 2. And while I did enjoy it for the most part, as we sort of learnt more about Jessica and her background, yeah, it didn't match up to season 1 for me, which I suppose it's always going to be hard to top season 1, because that is like a pretty fantastic season. But yeah, so I'll be interested to see how season 3 goes, but because it has gotten renewed. But yes, season 2 was a little disappointing, but it was good, but not as good as season 1 was. So yeah, so that was that one. And then this isn't so much a TV show, but it did air on TV, so I'm sort of counting it in this sort of segment, and that is, I watched Jesus Christ Superstar live in concert. So this was the live musical that I believe it was on Fox. I think they did that this year for Easter Sunday, and Jesus Christ Superstar is one of my favourite musicals, and this was sort of the ones that I was really excited to see. And while it was good, I thought it was it was well casted. I didn't have a major issue with the how they did the like how it went, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, I think maybe I probably went into it with too high expectations, because I do love this musical, and because like I went to see the Live Arena tour when that toured in Australia like 5 years ago, so I'm sort of have a bit of a soft spot for Jesus Christ Superstar, and I was in a local production of it a few years back as well, so I think, yeah, doing a live performance of this was probably always going to be hard for me to go, like, where I was going to jump in and go, oh my god, this is like the best performance of it ever. But like, it was fine. I actually really loved Norm Lewis as Caiaphas, I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, like, I mean, it had good, as I said, it had good performances. I just don't think it was like the best version of Jesus Christ Superstar that I've seen, so I don't think it'll be one that I'll be necessarily in a hurry to rewatch. So yeah, so I watched that, and then I also finished Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. I love Legends of Tomorrow. It's my favourite of the DC TV shows, and yeah, I love how crazy this show is, and it's very like self-aware as well. Like, it knows it's completely bonkers, but it doesn't care. It'll just go off and do whatever it feels like doing, and it just works. I feel like. So especially if you've seen the show and you've seen the season 3 finale, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, in that, like, how bonkers this show actually is. But yeah, it's also actually the only show that I'm caught up with in terms of the other like Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl. As I said, I've fallen way behind in so many TV shows. Yeah, it's because I'm only just starting to get out of my TV watching slump that I've been in sort of on and off for the last 2 years. But Legends of Tomorrow was definitely one of the shows I wanted to continue, like, and keep up with, because I love it. And yeah, it's and also one thing that's completely surprised me over the development of this show is how much I love Mick Rory, aka Heatwave in the thing. If you told me, like, back in season 1 that Mick Rory would become like one of my favourite characters next to Sarah Lance, she's still my favourite, but I just love him so much. It's just it's sort of love you don't care attitude, but then it's sort of yeah, like, he sort of acts like he doesn't care, but then sort of deep down he's sort of very proud of his, like, you know, his captain, and he would do anything for her. And yeah, I just sort of seen the character development of like of his character over the past few seasons has actually been quite impressive, I think. And so yeah, yeah, definitely loved Mick Rory this season. And yeah, so that's sort of yeah, I finished Legends of Tomorrow season 3, so I could probably go on about all that like for this entire video, just how much I loved Legends of Tomorrow. But anyway, I've still got a couple more shows that I finished to talk about still, and the next one is The Big Bang Theory season 10. Yeah, it took me a while to actually finish season 10 of The Big Bang Theory. Like, I still enjoy the show. I will admit it's not as like, probably not as great as what it was like in the middle seasons. Like, I feel yeah, definitely as the show's gone on, it sort of has lost some of its appeal, but I still enjoy it. And I think especially what made me enjoy these like last batch of episodes, because I got up to where Bernadette had given birth. Like, that was the last episode I saw, so I never watched the back half of season 10 for whatever, you know, again, sort of it was my TV slump. So but I am slowly making my way through the show. I haven't gotten very far in season 11 yet, because I'm only up to episode 3, but hopefully by the time I film another Tracy Talks TV, I will have watched that. But basically why I think I've been enjoying A Big Bang Theory especially more so is because I've been making my way through The Handmaid's Tale, and I need a comedy show after I watch an episode, because that show is just like really depressing and it makes me hate everything. So I haven't finished watching it, so I'm not going to be talking about it here, but so what I've found is a perfect sort of counterbalance to that is binging a few episodes of Big Bang Theory, sort of just to make me feel a little bit better about, like, you know, everything, because yeah, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't really say enjoy Handmaid's Tale, because it's not really one of those shows you can sort of sit down and enjoy, because I find it some of the most stressful like TV viewing that I've done recently, so I think I've got to space it out. But when I do watch it, I will watch a bunch of Big Bang Theory episodes with it. So yeah, so I basically finished Big Bang Theory season 10, and yeah, overall still, you know, I still really enjoy the show, but I think I enjoyed it a little bit more just because, yeah, sort of how The Handmaid's Tale leaves you feeling after an episode, and you're like, I need something light, I need something you can just put on and not think about. So Big Bang Theory has been perfect for that. So yeah, so I did end up getting caught up with season 10. So that was that one. And then the last show that I watched on Netflix is Chef's Table season 2, which is a very random, like, I mean, it's not really so much a TV show, it's a documentary, but I watched the first season, like, when was it? It was like a few years ago, back when Netflix first came out in Australia. It's sort of one of the shows where I was like, oh, I want to watch a documentary, and I was like, well, here we go, and then I put it on and I watched it, even though, like, I'm terrible at cooking, so I don't really have an interest in cooking, but I just sort of find it so fascinating how all these different chefs and the, like, different backgrounds, and sort of how they use that to create the foods that they do, and sort of why they're, like, how they've got their restaurants to being like the standing that it's at, because, like, it's a lot of, like, really renowned restaurants and that. So yeah, I just sort of found it fascinating. Like, that it's a very short, like, they're short seasons. They're only like 6 episodes, I think, and then I think some of the later ones they've gone down to 4. So I sort of like watching an episode here and there, and that's so. And I did finish season 2, so it took me a few years to get round to season, like, from season 1 to season 2. But I do plan to eventually like continue on with the show, but it's sort of one that's I'm not in a hurry to catch up on. I just like watching here and there. So, but yeah, so I did finish watching season 2 of Chef's Table. So those were all the TV shows that I ended up watching for this past couple of months. So yeah, I've been slowly getting out of my TV watching slump, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, once I'm done with uni for the semester, I'll have a lot more free time to just sort of sit down and just binge on the rest of the shows that I have, like, that I want to get caught up on. So, but we'll see how it goes, because yeah, this slump's just been awful, like, with TV watching, so, because I used to watch, like, so many TV shows, and then I just fell behind on all of them, and now I'm slowly getting caught up with them again. So, but yeah, we'll see in the next installment of Tracy Talks TV whether I've successfully continued on in my mission to catch up on a bunch of TV shows. But yeah, so I'm just going to stop it here. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!